Alright, so we're getting ready to make our rip here. We got our little camera crew outside there. So we make sure we turn our tow haul mode on, and we also got our traction control off so it doesn't reduce any timing between shifts. Alright, here we go. Alright, turn those puppies off right there. Alright, so some of the big differences here. It's definitely make sure you get the trans tune. I did just do the Hemifever tune without the trans tune, and I didn't truly notice a difference, it seemed like, until I had the trans tune done. It was definitely a big difference once I did that. So your shift points are just way much more firmer. It actually shifts like it means it. It's not excessive. You don't have to worry about scraping out a pile of metal shavings in your oil pan or anything like that, or your trans pan. So the only thing that stinks with these trucks is that most of them come with open differentials. So I think we're looking to change that, because as you can see in some of our videos, the one wheel peel is just, it's no bueno. So I bet you she's definitely been ripping on her pretty good there for the last 15 minutes. So we'll see if I can give you an example of a good shift. See, that's a good shift. See how it just, it's really firm. You can see how it just, it hits it and then automatically shifts. It's not that sliding stuff and all that. I've had this tune all summer now, so it's kind of, you know, I don't notice that stuff as much now just because I'm used to this tune, but man, it used to really seem like it was lazy in gears. And that just goes into the whole fuel economy thing and all that. But yeah, we're gonna get see, we might give her a couple more rips. Alright, what's up everyone? Today we are talking about our Hemifever tune and is it worth it? And there's a couple different steps with that. One being, you know, just going with the Diablo tune or going with the Hemifever tune. So we started this truck out here with the Diablo tune. We had already planned on getting the Hemifever tune, but to get everything, you know, you start out with Diablo. So we did that tune and it felt alright. But then we wanted to do the Hemifever tune, so we ended up getting that done. But we didn't do the trans right away. And it was honestly night and day difference doing the trans tune. And if you look up reviews and stuff, everybody will say the same exact thing. So if you're doing this, I just highly recommend, if you have the extra money, just spend it and get the trans. I think it's like an extra 75 bucks or something like that. And he actually redoes all your tune, even your engine tune and all that. And the thing is just like, wow. Big difference. So before you guys see the video and all that, I just want to state that this truck is pretty much stock. It does have electric cutout, which does not enhance performance at all. It does have a cold air intake, which, in my opinion, does not really enhance performance at all. So I mean, this is really just all about the tune here, and it has made quite, you know, a bit of difference and all that. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is with the Hemifever tune and all that, is something you need to know is you need to have a laptop that is up to date. If you have an older laptop, just be cautious, because we had an older one, and what happened is you have to download this app, and unfortunately I didn't know this at the time, but I could have done this before I even got the tune and everything, and I bought all this. I could have downloaded the app, and I would have known, if I could download it or not. But when I went to go download this app, it wouldn't download because our laptop was too old, and that ended up, making it more of a pricier thing, because now we had to go and buy a new laptop so we can install this, this app, so we can, get our tunes and everything like that. Because you got to be able to send tunes and all that good stuff. So that is something to think about. Make sure that you are ready, or you have yourself an up-to-date computer or laptop, so you can get the tunes that you need. Next thing, with my opinion too, is that the reason why your Hemifever tune and your Diablo tune is going to be, why the Hemifever tune is better, is that you have a guy actually looking at your graphs as far as with your timing and your fuel ratios and all that stuff. While Diablo tune, they don't look at that stuff. What they do is they got this tune for you that is safe, right? So they could throw it in any vehicle, and they don't have to worry about people blowing their stuff up, right? If they were to make it too, spicy, then they would take the risk of maybe like someone like me that has a cold air intake and has exhaust, and it changes the ratios that much. Or maybe it's just everyone's engine's just a little bit different, or a climate and all that stuff plays a role in this. And it could end up, ruining your motor. So they have to make this tune that, is good for everybody. So you can only imagine that it's really not that spicy at all. While when you do your Hemifever tune, you're sending this guy data and all that, so he could see how your stuff's running. And even him, unless you probably tell him to, is still not, getting your max performance out. Because you don't want to do that for your everydayer. Or you're going to take the risk of probably messing your stuff up. One other big thing, someone told me, I'm going to take their word for it. I did look it up a little bit, and it does seem like a thing. I don't know if it's different after you have a tune, but they were recommending that I turn my traction control off, and I just happen to put on tow mode, which I don't know if it makes a difference or not. But anyways, you turn your track control off because it will reduce timing. One, if you're losing traction, which I knew that. But the other part of it is between shifts and all that, it takes a little bit of timing out, which I did not know that. But I ended up talking to a couple of people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you didn't know that?" I'm like, "No, I didn't know that." So, interesting little fact right there. Make sure you turn your traction control off. Not just because, it's not to be because you're ready to roast your tires. It could just be, you don't want time to get taken out. So I've actually started taking my traction control off really all the time when I drive it now, and especially when I'm towing, because I don't want timing to be removed. I want to get all the power that I can when I'm pulling my trailers and all that. Alright, so I just want to talk to you guys really quick about the trans tune versus the engine tune and all that. When we got the engine tune, it actually did work really well with the Hemifever, But once we combined the trans and everything, it was fantastic. And to get in a little bit more depth about what the trans tune actually does, it firms up your shifts really nice, and it's not excessive, and it's not something you feel like you're going to destroy your transmission, because nobody wants to do that to an 8-speed. But it does firm it up really good to where it actually feels like a truck. That was my biggest complaint with this Ram, was that when I bought it, the shifts just felt so lazy, and I was so disappointed that you had such a, almost 400 horsepower motor, and you got this transmission that shifts so lazy behind it, and it was just so disappointing. So with this engine tune and the trans tune, it really has made it a completely different truck. If you do have a pedal commander, you will not need that anymore. This with the programmer, you'll still be able to adjust with the tuner, you'll still be able to adjust your pedal response, and your Hemifever guy will already do that for you to where you're actually good. You'll set that all back to 0, and you'll be ready to rock and roll. I mean, you could bump it up more, but honestly, it's set to a pretty good sensitivity. And if it's always too sensitive for you, you could always back it down a little bit, so don't worry about that. But I hope this video has helped you guys. All right,